Hello Sagittarius, kia ora koutou katoa, welcome to my YouTube channel. And also, thank you to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I invite you to do that now, during or after the video. It's up to you. The other thing is I just want to remind everybody that these are general reads, so they may, the messages that come through may or may not resonate with you. If they do, that's awesome. If they're not, check out what your other signs are saying for you that can, help you, probably help you to give you maybe a little bit more in depth about what is going on here. And see what's going, just check in and see what's going on for you in this, for the rest of August 2021. So today is the 25th of August, 2021, that I'm doing this read. So we've just coming out of a full moon period energy, so which was on Monday. When it was at its peak. So some of you may be still feeling the energy, and maybe you're feeling a little bit scattered, but a lot of you is maybe like, and maybe that feeling of like coming down for you, or out of that waxing period. It can be quite intense sometimes, whereas the moon's energy, or the moon grows bigger, and waxing means to expand or to grow. So, so and it may be more settling down now, where it sometimes expands situations that are in going on in your life and things like that. So I'm going to do my cards differently. There are lots of changes that are going on in the way that you're doing things, seeing things, and all sorts of things that are going on. So you may have found like a lot of things happening or coming up last week as you were coming into, which is often what can happen. A lot of like shit can hit the fan, literally, basically, and things come out of the woodwork, not necessarily all negative things, but could be positive things, as per se, or just things come up where you may be needing to like take a look at, or maybe you didn't think you needed to take a look at, or you didn't realize what was going on, but there is something that's come up that I'm hearing maybe needed to be reviewed. Okay, actually I'm going to take these two, and I'm going to do like a 9 card spread, or with it, plus these other 3 here with the tarot cards. So we'll just see what comes up. So I'm going to take that one. Actually, those 2 could come out. Actually, I'm going to put those 2 together, because there's something about those first 2 was like come out together. So I will take them together. So there may be like a little bit of like toing and froing with something, like one goes, one stays, or or bringing something together or something like that, or releasing something. So we'll just see what comes up here. So with you, Saggies, I feel like I want to keep shuffling for this next card. It'll be just see what comes up through here. So there's a lot of seeing what goes on. I feel like, okay, there's just the one. Cool. Okay, now I can go this way. I feel like I can go that way through there, and I want to take, there's one in here and there. Oopsie daisy. Gosh, there's all sorts of things going on here. So, and the way that you're doing things is, I want to take those 3 actually through there. Cool. That makes sense to me, kind of. And we'll see how we go along. It might be, things may be making a little bit more sense to you now. I just feel like a little bit of a headache at the moment. Well, it's kind of a headache, but it's not a headache. And often when I'm feeling like there's a tension headache that I'm sensing at the moment, and it could be because of some things that are going on with you around now, that could be going on in this next week or so, or up until the end of August. So and a lot of things moving. It could be too in between that time is like like drink. I'm hearing like hydration, drinking a lot more water or fluids to keep you hydrated, because often when we're going through a stressful time, we can not drink as much. So, and especially water to help flush through the toxins. So it may be like I'm hearing is like decreasing those things that stimulate your energy, especially if you're not moving around in the way that you used to be, or normally if you're because we're in lockdown level 4 here in New Zealand at this time that I'm recording. So it may be that if you're in a lockdown, it may be like just finding ways to exert your energy in some way or form. So because there's a sense of stagnancy with some of you, and that may be going on there with some of you. So, or a sense of frustration where there's that edginess, though, and stimulants, drinks or foods can help heighten that even more. So it's just being mindful about what is around your space, I guess, so where they're going with that. So because something is like surfacing, this is the first card that's out here from the Energy Oracle deck here. So, there is something, there's something that's like surfacing, like within or coming to the surface with you. And I'm also seeing like not just with you, but somebody else in your life or some things in your life as well. So they're going to expand on that. Then we have productivity. So I feel like what they're talking about here is like focusing on what is productive, in getting, in either getting to the best possible, towards getting to the best possible outcome. Okay, rather than the worst possible outcome. So it's like shifting your perspective around it. Okay, this does not look good, or this does, or this is going to be challenging to get around this way, or this does look good, but it's like, how am I going to get to that point, or whatever it is. But it's like, I'm feeling like, there's something about being productive towards whatever is going on. And I do feel like, it's like some of it is maybe just held up. There's something held up. It's like, well, what can I do in between now while I've been held up? And, and there may be things around, like if this is for your business, or even if I'm hearing some of you, there may be building a home. Some of you, it's what is in between that I can, do that's productive towards the outcome that, is coming up, so making this a good outcome in this time and also in the near future or the distant future. So there's something about expectation. I feel like where they're going with that is like having, the expectation that the outcome is going to be good, and it's like, or the outcome is going to be an outcome that will, that is, for the greater good of one and all, in that sense is where they're going. So it is about having the expectation. And I do feel like, because I'm drawing at the buffalo in here, or the bison in this card here, things go around in cycles as well. So I feel like what they're trying to say there is, in that productivity, there is a cycle. In the stuff that's is surfacing, there was a cycle to get it to where it is now. But you're going through a cycle. Okay, cool. So then the next cards down here we have here are the Six of Cups and the Five of Swords. So there's something about, with the Six of Cups, is like something is moving. It's like you've moved out of some sort of emotional struggle or emotional strain or emotional upset. But it's like the Five of Swords is like your mind maybe is keeping you there from moving on from this. So this is about, I feel like, getting out of your head and looking at things, there's something surfacing, and not trying to push it down again, or not trying to, let your head get over your emotions, because if you think about it, and, our mind, if we're listening to, say, a song, and our mind takes us off on the journey with the song, it can, our emotions can be, drawn into that, or it can help feed our emotions in the way that we feel about things. So that's the best way I could apply it. So this is interesting that this Five of Swords is over this Six of Cups. So I feel like you're working towards doing something, but your head gets in the way. So this is not overthinking it. And there are things that are going to be, that are surfacing, like this card is saying. So it could be to do with a relationship. It could be to do with something that you feel like you may be questioning about, what it could have, should have, what it didn't. And, with a recent, happenings around you, whether that is like with court, with, work, or with your business. And I feel like there's something about questioning there as well. And it may be that things are going to surface where you're like maybe, freaking the frack out about how you're going to handle that. And it may be that something is coming, somebody around you is, and I don't feel like it's necessarily like you've broken the law or anything like that. For, you know, some of you may have, I don't know, but it's like, I feel like this is about not overthinking it though, on saying whatever it is. It may be that you have, somebody's come back to you and said something, and now you're overthinking it, because it's like, so, you know, it's like, but it's not even that. For some reason you've bought into the story, which is where they're trying to go with that one. So it's not, you know, but I do feel like, so not letting, you know, this is about you being in your power, knowing your own truth, basically. Okay. So, and then we have in the next one below that is, you know, the Nine of Cups and the King of Swords. Oh, that's beautiful, because there's a quick transition. You know, the Nine of Cups talks about, you know, on top of it, getting, you know, something is coming together. You're starting to understand what it is, and like more intuitively moving as well into building these stronger relationship with yourself as well as with others, on saying that. But then it's like, you know, the Nine of Cups talks about, you know, there's that sense of, you know, coming together with that contentment, you know, and finding, you know, realizing and, realizing maybe how you've put yourself down, and putting yourself down, and how you've worked with others, or others have treated you. It's like maybe you've bought into something, but now you're starting to realize that actually that's not my shit, that's somebody else's, and realizing what shit is your shit that you've maybe like, you know, put onto others, and others have bought into that. So there's a vice versa thing. So things are starting to surface while you're in. It's just, you know, with, you know, when we got a bit of time to think, sometimes our mind just goes awry. But then it's not, and then unto other times it just slows down, so we can, not run away from things, or we can sort things out. So it, like I'm hearing, like this is about, you know, bringing something to your attention to sort out, or help someone sort out, you know, on saying that. But the King of Swords is here, so he's in, you know, he's risen above, he's found his power, he's in his truth. So there's this energy that's there. So there may be a male energy that is older than yourself, or a male role model energy that's maybe in spirit or living, whatever, that has a lot of wisdom and truth that's coming out, that you may be like tapping into yourself. So you know, on saying that, that's helping you to come to this space or this place in your energy space, to help you, like, you know, not just intuitively, but help you to, like, you know, emotionally connect with yourself and heal some, you know, some stuff in there, or shift some, understand some stuff that's going on in there. You know, typically I feel like this is like around the relationships, but but it's, you know, with the King of Swords, it's like, he is, you know, like he's risen above it, you know, and what he's sorted it out. He's like in the clouds, but he's like come down from that, in the sense there's that balance in a way. So it's like his head is in the clouds, but there is a balance in there. So he knows where he's at, but that's because he's worked through stuff, and he's like figured out his truth and who he is and what it is that he stands for, and that sort of thing. So that's just beautiful. So then we have the Knight of Swords. So there may be something that's coming up, or it may be right there. It may have been there the other day. It may be coming up, you know, where you may be put in as a position of this energy of needing or wanting or feeling like you need to make a decision, and like quite quickly, because something is moving quite quickly. What I'm hearing is just be mindful about how, because this card, you know, brings in that energy of quick movement. So it's, some of you, I feel like this is about going with the flow, but taking, and with that, it can be quite overwhelming to the point where you may be feeling like a little, you know, like quite overwhelmed with it. So, but it's like, just, this isn't necessarily about stopping. It's not really about, you know, rushing as well, but it's about taking, you know, a notice of how you're feeling in there, and what's going on in your mind as to what you're going to be making, probably a decision or a choice in some way or form. So it's about, you know, just taking note basically of what is going on, and it's not so much rushing it, but there are some, see, like, I love how she's like on the dragon, he's taking, look at that ravine, or that, you know, crevasse there, that's quite deep, but she's taking that next step anyway, but she's in her power, or he is in his power, their power anyway, and they're going to move, but they're just going to be aware of what is going on, okay, as they're going along. So productivity here, the 10 of Wands is underneath it. So there's something is moving, so which is interesting. So, you know, this is saying, you know, to me, it's saying like you're making some movement, you're making an effort. Like you're starting to like see what is coming of, you know, what is transitioning if you make a movement towards, you know, sorting some shit out basically, and not getting caught up in the drama, but being impartial to it, and not getting emotionally attached to it basically, or, you know, just seeing the truth behind the matter and what it means to you. The Lovers card here, it could have something to do with a relationship that's you know, a relationship that you're in now, or something in the past, and, you know, it's come forward into the now, and it may be the past that's, you know, it could be a lover that's come in from the past that's bringing up some stuff, but it could be like physically. It could actually be, you know, more of a thought or memory that's come back that's like, you know, from a lover that's coming in now, or that in a relationship that something has triggered it. So whatever that is, the Lovers card. Some of you, I feel like there is somebody coming in and you're just going through this, trying to, you know, figure out how this is going to work for you. And I feel like some of you are maybe contemplating on saying that, moving out of one. And so it's like doing something productive to, like, you know, as you transition to get out of it. Because the 10 of Wands is like, you know, you've been through the battle, you've done the hard yards, and you've planned something in a way that you're taking steps to move, to transition, to create change or generate change. And you've climbed mountains or rocky, you know, places before, and it may have been on a bit of a rocky road for some part of it. But it's like, I feel like now it's like you're climbing out of that, or that though you're not, the burden isn't there that wasn't yours anyway, and then the burden that was part of yours is not there anymore, or it is there but you're moving away from it. You're finding your way out of it, which is like working, which is where they're heading towards this Lovers card. So whatever it is that, you know, it's been attached to you, or you've attached to it, it's like you're seeing the other, you know, you're seeing it from another point of view now, which is interesting. I love this card. It was like that, and there's that big ravine over there, you know, but you're seeing something from another point of view, which is really interesting with the Hanged Man. Expectation here with this card, it's like, you know, I'm hearing like there's with the Queen of Pentacles, you know, she's moving in a direction, or she likes, you know, nice things. So she's going to work for it, work towards what it is that she wants to do, be, give and have in her life. But she can be quite self-critical and you know, and along those lines as well. However, I do feel like she could be quite critical, not just self-critical, but of others or things, you know, around her. But you know, so it's just, and there's a little bit of frustration in her face, but I feel like that's like, there's that expectation in a way can be quite high, but not necessarily in a negative way, but there is something, there's steps that are moving. But this here, I feel like you're moving away from a lot of that and seeing what you've, your potential is where I'm hearing from that. But that's why I feel like there's that criticalness there, is like she criticizes her own potential as well as others' potential, and or whatever that is. But those are the words that are coming up at the moment. So with this Eight of Cups, I'm hearing too, is like, for this one, is like, you know, not holding on to emotions of the past. So there could well be, for a lot of yous or some of yous, something to do with a past love, or something, you know, to do with a past love as well as a current love, of yourself and or others. So there's something about moving, allowing yourself to move away from that, so, and not letting that hold you back, okay? So if you're wanting to, you know, and you know, towards the expectation or the success that you're looking for, and it's a part of it, but it's like, you know, the part of that learning and that growth that we get along the way. So I feel like for some of you, I feel like you're looking back now, and you're seeing that through having gone, you know, looking back after this full moon period of, you know, wherever in this phase, and this read where it fits for you. It's like you're looking back and you can see like, okay, it's, you know, from where you've been, you know, from where you've come from to where you are now. And moving forward. So the Nine of Wands, which is really interesting, you know, it's like there's a sense of, you know, acknowledging yourself for the battle weariness that you've been through, the battle that you've been through. which is really interesting. But now you're ready to move on. There's still a guardedness there, which is understandable, but I'm seeing these beautiful blue dragons there. So it's like, I'm seeing these, the swords there is like, in other cards it talks about, it shows usually somebody that's asleep and there are swords there, or at night, so nightmares. Unfounded nightmares, so it's like moving through those unfounded nightmares and even the founded ones, but it's not letting them get in your head to stop you from doing what you need to do as far as on the emotional level. So with that, it's like anchoring yourself in the success of where you're wanting to go. I'm really drawn to the blue book in here, with at the Queen's feet that is closed. It's like you've read that book, I'm feeling, and it's like now it's time to put it into action. And they're the blue dragons. They're there to help you. I'm just connecting those two together. So there's something about healing, spiritual healing in there, but overall, a lot of healing in all areas. But it's definitely about, I feel like this is like just showing you where you've come from to where you are, and you acknowledging that for you, and on a healing perspective, and where you can be going, as you are healing yourself, even, as you are healing yourself, along the way, in the journey that you've taken to get to where you are now. So it's like, the Nine of Wands is like, I'm ready to just, move, and it's not so much because I was hearing and just about saying get the fuck over it, basically, but it's not just about that. It's about, and that is for some of you it's not, it's when I'm hearing that and saying that as that come out, it's like not burying it on saying that in that way. It's like, okay, I understand, and I reckon it's like now time for me to move on. So this is about, what I'm hearing is you're kind of being a little bit more tougher with yourself, but it's more you've made a decision about where you're going, what you want your life to look like, what you want this situation to, the outcome of the situation to be like, whether it's, I'm hearing like whether it's a win or a lose, it's like you kind of feel like it's a win-win situation rather than win or lose, even, and that sort of thing. So it's like there are things moving around where you're like mulling through it. So it's like you're going to move forward anyway, and release that which is not yours with this Nine of Wands here. Beautiful. But there's still, like I say, there's still a sense of protection and guardedness, but it's like at least you're moving on, and you're not, it's like the fence isn't like in front of you where you've got to dodge, even though they may be lined up, to get where you can get through. It's like you're not going to feel like you need to dodge it. It's just like it's there, but you can move it, and it's in the way like a staff is how I'm seeing that, which is pretty bloody cool. So anyway, onwards and upwards, outwards, whatever that is for you in these next steps into your future, basically. So anyway, well, my amazing spiritual team, we leave you with lots of love, peace, harmony, joy, excitement, adventure, and prosperity and abundance.